For power generation, energy minister say, say, Ghana buying etimiako negotiate akoto fuel in 450,000 barrels. Ejinem, yadi aba abedru Ghana. Ni nyina say, nyina nim say ende eba inyum nkania adia ema ye nkania sebio ye generators awo Ghana no so wafa petrol engumu a ana diesel engumu a entumi embo adwuma ema ye nkania ngina so. The reason why MDC are buying Ebre right now to keep majority of the light on 24 hours, no? And the government is doing everything possible to give you light. And they say, MPP are buying no, omoko bobesia etosa eye fangu ya omuntia. No man carry forward. At the time of the office, no more boka over 10 billion eguo. And right now, what the NDC is doing, and they say, they are trying to fight Sa Ekano. And some of the reasons, ways about to fight Sa Ekano, and say, yet the power distributor. Say, a kofa fang, NP before no kofa fang go ne ba. They know me and say, the fang go na bana, omako free no. Na omaka chre Arab for, and as a baby a cocotoba, no so metiano, omuntiao. Omosa dia bana, omudiama ECG no. Na afenyo marking, any another premoso to ECG board and so. Enti ECG na also o distributive power na oje eyedien light bills no na yede sa light bills ni sika loko tuaka no afenyo mark mu ti ECG board no so e na omo create omo cartel e na omo ton ECG nkanea no ECG equipment no enti one sa fango na MPP fo akofa ba na e wo senka yede ma machines ni adwuma na kanea gina so na yetumi je light bills no na yede sa light bills ni sika no ekotua nkanea ne ka no se nkanea no so na ebedru ECG pe no match scanedi. Inti every time biano na ekada ho. Now the reason why na omo pese omo beka ekano wasem was that na election eba. Okay, say MPP abreso ye betom kane bia mu a na aban no ene eye PURC for air din air kontokwa. If we say eye PURC no omo na omo calculate kane wo se yetua. Now then aban no ye say de biano na omo ti omo kon say mema omo fa eye the raw figure na nkyere se dum so ho. It's even though near odum so mu no PURC for the right figure also the man near tia kania kan no mo famba anything na aban sisa ya jo mahama ka say on fa bibia ensie mu anything na oba ya ka say ye be bien kratam ma yehu dwumadia ECGD dwumadia eye akoso eno na ema ko fa bia mu se afenyo marking na ot ECG board so anodom pre akronfo we ene na pomu ena damage Ghana edien eye yenka ne ansem. And I mean, okay, say, the John Mahama person and say, Sir, or Brana MP before bo for 8 years, Omode Eka Abeto Ghana Sono, or Pesa Fango partner, Debiania Koto Fango, MDC ba, no more baying in a year, not MP before ba, no more Cobobesia, no more Cojo Fango, no Muntiano, say, or Pesa the Sian, you see gas. You see gas planter, young Quabro Chim Koto Fango Bium. Na sa gas plant no. Yani ankasa gasi e de be power plant no na ama enyim nkanea intimi no ka say fango 450,000 barrels abedu eno na ebe power ye nkanea no Remember, NPP for call IMF. Enkania any insu a yetutum bosom miensa bia na eka IMF conditionalities no ho. PZ for you can say IMF conditionalities are. Enne nyoma IMF gina so a omoka say ombebo ya besia. Omoka say so ombebo Ghana besia 3 billion a. E wo se na na do dan kwaku fo ado ne ba omia mo kire say saa 3 billion no obobenye sika omo de betua. E na ba omia ene ekufu ado mo ka kire IMF say ye kanea ne ye nsuo sika ya gigi na omo de sia wawa. Na mom omo ye saa de ne wie no ene omo ka kire Ghana for say problem bi eni ho. Enti na omo to enkanea mu behind the scenes. Omo to insuo behind the scenes and intina na bia no ye beto kanea ni insuo ma na eye MPP aban no any PURC no mo kontokwa efrise no mo mpese PURC for beti omo to say sa eye contract na omo ni IMF coin no e be affect Ghana for John Mahama ba na omo be den omo be bie so kire say bosom miensa bosom nan bia no ye beto kanea mu efrise eka sa enhihye a NDC MPP aban eye baomia ekufu adomo ene den Canada Japan mo ene IMF koye ene ntina e man kanea tutum no 4 months bi adu ende aban na pesika koto eye petrol aba me no ka say aban no AC gas plant a ebedum pempenso bi after 2-3 years no na ye nkwa abrochire nkobo eye fango besia John Mahama SSC another gas plant me no ka say oma sa de eye asema betudwa say sa parliament sa ba NDC are buying through energy minister. I'm the crata for eco parliament to say, I'm person see another gas plant. Inti yebenya gas plant mienua. Sa fangu we ye kotono abrochia. Ye de bebe power ye nkania e de kabano. They see ani ye nya sa problem ni biem. Inti John Mahama and NDC are buying, they are thinking ahead. Inti right now Ghana for makoma tomu yem. Aban we bo adwuma. Aban we e toto nyoma. Ye nyina yate. Say and the aban say ECG in Kenya ni sika jeje no sebio eye nipa bi omo ECG di Ghana for dwirim eye MPP aban for mobile no omo create eye cartel bi a ECG sika no ebegu omo angasa botom se a John Mahama aban we de omo pese omo ye ne say omo pese sa part na ye jeje eye in Kenya sika eye light bills no ene eye prepaid monitoring of prepaid no omo pese omo de ma ankra company eye Ghana company na aban any insawoso bia wom inti sa ankrankra na e wo so omugigi sa sika no e ye oma sede se ankrankra company ne ntuma anya na aban aiden aso omo pa ana apam omo ana omugigi na se ebi form nsem a ye betuma aiden achi omo akogu efiase inti eno na John Mahama sisi a all year opese ye de sika gigie no light bill ne gigie no ye de ma ankrankra company e ye Ghana for company a omo na solely Bronica Solia, Omunkuti, and as Omunkuana, Omobejiji, a light bills for Ghana. Na Sebio, Omaya Konta, Ama Abain. Yanya Sadi Nitina, PDS, MPP Abain, Eddie PDS Baya, Omoka se Omobejiji, in Kania Sika, na Omodia She, Yanina Munkania, Ama Omodia Shemukina. $500 million, Omojo America for Ghana, dear Kaho, ever seen there. PDS for America, and a PDS Nusu Aira. Nanado dankwe kufuado ba omiamo na TPDS Canada Japan mu nyina ka ho ena mu wi Ghana for nti these are things e was say me hu say aban na eto so no enwene man no kekere man no de nan ACC baby pa aban no wo eye enidaso bi a eye enidaso vision a ye nyina ye support aban na baby aban no pese de ekono Ghana benya ne ntuma pefra so let us be supportive yenti aban na say the most interesting thing is say aban we emfa bibia nsie Ghana for John Mahama NDC are thinking of building over 2 gas plants to replace fuel powered plants. And the Uber Aviasa for Nina. In Yamunkaniano, Dudua, a Europa, your power Ninano, and fango, gas, and the power in Yamunkania. And it's now, John Mahama said, and Nidaso said the next 4 years, no, you bet me see a gas plant by a 9, na petrol na. Yakwa edibe fele gas no ya machines no ya nkrabium into fango na ebetu no Ghana no ye betuma process na ye de akwa abrochira koton sika so that is what this government is doing. So this is not a joke, this is a project. I will say we should not listen to MPP omuni nkansah ometna Ghana so 8 years 1 megabyte to 1 megawatt kroma fan Ghana nkania ho And omuntumi njina baby anka say yesi one plant ema Ghana omuntumi nka every say omu anka sa ba na mo ba na adwene nyina say omu bewia ekum asei. Let us be wise. Enye de bia na sebio yabema politicians bi adadaye clear ye nyina ya tia say mamo ma sa MPP atrufo we enda ada Ghana for aban papa ba moma yem mo aban no na sebio onjina ne naso ende dollar ko for me mama chiro trick no. Sesia and the one who's $1 no abedu 1165 or 1185 no. This is what it means. It means say a car ye di ye tuano in dollars no saka no ende esobeti. E kana ho de ne beba form because now the dollar equivalent na ye di tuano dollar na ho de no eba form on our side. So whatever debt we negotiated today, if we renegotiate those debts, we are going to pay in that equivalent ende dollar na ho de bibi wo. Inti ekofo admo bo kato ho no se na yekotua eye ekabia $1 bia eye 17 cedis a and the John Mahama ne NDC adumunti and the $1 bia na yekotua around be 11. Now it is all about renegotiating and remaking sure say o finance minister no and the Bank of Ghana mono omotumi ne eye den omo ye de omoka e wa mano ne anifie no atenase a renegotiate a kire omo say ye sika sem na gina na so enti the rate at which na omo charge eye eka no ene infrastructure da so no they can drop that rate. It is all about negotiations, and the moment your dollar enya anwode ne ba form na usidi ne nya anwode a ema omo ba obesia na omo gise wuntumi ntua no ema mutumi no tena se esa ka sikasem no agum ene the friend no investor confidence ema omo ye de omo ka eye omo ye from eye de eye foreign countries are they are able to sit with us because they are seeing say we are making progress by making our currency stronger. Now what they don't want to happen Oma yedi omo ka wa abrochire ne say broni ne wusa dollar na free 17 abedu 11 na na so hu say time na wo de ne ka no negotiation na one ne call ye no sa ta na dollar ne was 17 na so wanji levy way at that rate $100 ne bedru 8 ne hu bekem. So a better say obeji sikano besiano in this equivalent, which is 11.8, than to wait another 1 year or 6 months to be paid 8 cedis per dollar. It is all about you, your government, your leadership, your finance minister being selfless and negotiating well. And negotiating well. And it's a dollar buffer, it helps with your debt. Usika tia odet mutia no eka wutia ama amanonefo no eboawo efrise usika ne nya ahoden a sa wutumi kan wasem ye ekirekire mu kire eye omo a wodi omo kana sa sika nka also 100 million no you end up paying 70 million because eye o dollar ne strength no na wo de kasa. Sometimes you can even use your dollar, the strength of your dollar, to negotiate for a business. You can tell businesses that you owe, companies or governments that you owe, or countries that, you know something, my currency is good now. Samedoka $100 million. You can take $700 million or $70 million. $30 million now offset, come and invest in this country. I'll give you a tax break of this. That is negotiation. That is a financial team that is intelligent and smart. In the next few months, ubonse nyoma esisa ubonse nyoma bo ekofom ubonse Ghana service your debt no eba form kakra because when you have stronger local currency, investors or debtors, what they do is they look at the trajectory. PZ4 yakaza trajectory e kano send a sorti see no send na ho de no eko when we send na ho de no if reform kwa na ekosro nti ono so economist or your businessman or your investor Oba says, "Tama a bedroom pempenso bino $1 will be 1 cedi. He will lose all sikano until they will come to the table and speak to you." It is almost hanyama say now. You should understand. Say one, as a nation, if our leaders, our financial leaders, are able to negotiate well, kakra and kakra no ekano eba form. Two, the Ibanese say, "Ema omo person ni ebedi jumana." They are able to come to the table to sit with us because say so no money ekano answer and relook at a can be a tier a bedu pempensobino ebi 1 billion many better not 500,000. These are all things a bois or mino until you need a strong currency that reflects for people to see say this is a country that is moving in the direction that I can affiliate or associate with. Into governance, a strategy, a intelligence, a experience, and yet flamboyance and slogans, and yet the battery is the Lord, and yet it is possible, and yet I am an economist. It's about being tactical into a chess game. And it's not, you are seeing the dollar go down, everybody is shocked. It is not magic, it is chess, it is calculation, it is being proactive, it is reading your opponent, it is reading your economy, it is looking at baby. I also did nyoma bi ko. Your friend be scale of preference. The here answer na the fata. Inti bibi wo ha ehia sisi ane da kwasha ase. The here no ne aye. That is what this government is doing. It is choosing right. It is making the right decisions. It is closing the necessary loopholes. It is conserving. It is keeping what we need to keep. Inti this is basic economics. Inti Sibia Eko say no, if the government stays on track, at a point we are going to hit a little bit of a roadblock. It is fine. But then the trajectory will show, say, we will stay within reasonable rate, reasonable dollar rate, which is conducive for foreigners and also locals. In Pempensobino, you will see, say, they don't complain because reasonably, the dollar, you can work with it. And also, the volatility. Dollar no say or sorry enko 18 emma 3 emma 4 the confidence nipa na okofa nyoma wa abruchiri no into onim say me free Ghana akọ China akọ 3 weeks na say dollar no wo 10 minim say me ba na ndru 18 minim say me ba kora akọ enim kora 10.2. So the investor is confident. He is confident in your currency. He is confident in the decisions your government is taking and the people who are making the decisions. And it's you do not have to underestimate this government and the finance minister and it very critical. You cannot just ignore. And this is for our future. And it's a few people and way are getting it right. And it's about me or a textbook economist or kasasa practically he cannot implement because on the field is different from speaking. So as you can see, he can talk, he can speak, he can lie because it's all about what is coming from or a textbook or a chew and pour. But when you give him the job to do, practically, he doesn't know how to negotiate. Practically, he cannot predict the business partners. Practically, he cannot foresee what might happen in the future. You see, as an economist, you should be able to predict your other person you are doing business with. You should be able to also predict what might happen in the future. So you need to always have buffer. You can say buffer. And it's how to do PZ. Now when him say, Sebio, me get 10 million, but Debiana also be 2 million be a defia. It just told me shop her because you have 2 million and if the buffer as some about no daso. Into this is what the government is building. And it's a me Ghana for what is going on. Into the Aban way, it is not magic. It is people being strategically tactical. They are being real. They are dealing with the issues the way it's supposed to be dealt with. It is not textbook. It is not jargons. It is not saying things to make you happy. It is letting you understand the reality. But we need to understand that's how governance, that's how economies work. Now, team. Thank you. Now, this is a story we all need to talk about. Egigim. Chief Justice, Madam Tokonu. You know, there's one thing I have seen about the Chief Justice. And before I go to the story, maybe I bought a video and it's a video I bought because I want the NDC to understand the say. And this evening in Koto was talking about it, very important. The NDC as a government and the people who are part of this government, and even the ordinary Ghanaian who voted for the NDC, John Mahama. The biggest threat in Ghana today is some of the media. And I'm going to say this to the president. I'm going to say this to the finance minister. I'm going to say this to the Bank of Ghana governor. I'm going to say this to the NDC as a party and a party that has formed a government. Your biggest threat, our biggest threat as a nation is some of the media men in Ghana, the journalists in Ghana. You have to be very careful about them. You see, it has gotten to that point where they cannot criticize what is happening. It has gotten to that point whereby they are setting traps for you guys. They are being sarcastic in their comments. They are ashamed. They are the same people who were telling Ghanaians that na John Mahama no be den. Adona John Mahama the policy ni den. These are the same people who ignored Bawumia, who was in government when the dollar was skyrocketing. They refused to question Bawumia, an economist, the vice president, leading economic management team, and still the dollar getting out of hand. These were people who ignored the fundamental questions that they were supposed to pose when Ghana, basically, the economy was drying up. Now, these are the same people who were sitting on radio and TV catcher and said, John Mahama obeye dieng. Politicians are the same. They were indirectly trying to create the impression that say MPP fairly cry, yama MPP international. If you say NDC MPP, these were the same people. That is why I am warning the government. I am warning the president. I am warning the NDC. You should not get comfortable with demons and cobras. Your biggest threat, if this government, you are going to succeed. I'm making a bench NDC for, and the president. The Ghanaian listening to me today, the wise Ghanaian, the intelligent Ghanaian who voted for John Mahama, deep down, they are willing to vote for the NDC for the next 42 years. There is nothing that the NPP can do or say to convince any Ghanaian today that they are a better political party than the NDC. No, there's nothing they can do. There is nothing they can say. Now, the danger to this government, any abide with any president, some of the media. Majority